What's up, Internet? Vlog for history. This is my reaction to Expedition 33 and the new Pope. So I just got done taking a nap. It's pretty sunny. It's like my last day in this spot. Tomorrow I'll be driving and getting more supplies and going to a new spot. So, I know moving on the weekend can be kind of risky. I should have moved today if I want to miss the rush, but I'm hoping I can find a spot nobody's using. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Expedition 33's kind of, I didn't really like it. I know French things like, what's his name, Obodo and Asterix. They've kind of got like, if you know French cartoons, then you'll know Expedition 33. It made me think of Disney Club 33. This idea that it's a war between the painters and the writers. Painters and writers is kind of funny. It's very game development. These people write the structure of the story. These people create the art for it. I saw this dude take down the paintress. I wasn't sure if it was Paintress or Paintress. It's the Paintress. It's cool she uses void and a lot of black inky stuff, which I do. I like that. I like runny, splashy ink and black, you know. So I thought that was kind of fun, but I just like, a lot of people love the plot, love it, love it, love it. Maybe I missed some earlier stuff, and so it didn't mean as much to me. Maybe. I'm glad to see France is making stuff. I don't mind. Typically in my time, my education, a person from USA would value French for the democracy, and we know that their democracy was earned through war. Nobody was going to give them a democracy. They had to freaking become bad guys to get it. Yeah. The power will always make resisting them illegal, and they'll always call the people who do it rebel scum. So the trick is to do it all at once. If your elite are high enough, they won't see it coming. If your elite are high and drunk and segregated enough, they won't have any clue what's going on. So it's kind of how it is with the real secret government in us. Anyway, Expedition 33. I enjoy that they had a 9,000 damage limiter, and then they took that off, and then they let you fly. That was kind of like an interesting thing to happen all at once. They had like a fake end of the plot, take down the paintress, and when you take down the paintress, you get to play some story parts as her, and you find out there's another baddie. I guess that's cool. I'm definitely interested in seeing like all the plot cinematics, maybe like seeing like a movie, you know what I mean, like a movie cut where they do like all the major parts. That would be cool. I definitely wonder about like the war aspects. I definitely wonder about like perfection in Anna, you know what I mean, like what's it called, Nike, Goddess of Victory, did a lot to do anti-Anna. They've had their past like 3 characters in a row all eat. It's one of the things that you'll notice in like American TV is they're always thin, and they're never shown eating. Very rarely, you know. They're never ever shown using the bathroom. Never ever then, right? So it's kind of an awareness I have that they don't do that anyway. The new Pope. The Pope is, they did a Latin American Pope. Now they're doing a North American Pope. To me, that's the thinking. They did one from the South. Where is he from? Argentina. right? And then they did one from the North American Pope. To me, he has no charisma. To me, the church is sick. To me, all the Catholics are dirty pedos. Anything that touches the Bible or Jesus is tainted with being filthy. And same thing with like the Jews or the Muslims. They're all also crooked. The basic lie is they're talking for the creator to manipulate their fellow man. It's the basic lie. And it goes deep and nasty how that works. So I'm totally against it. Yeah. Sad and bad. Let's see. Yeah, so I don't think anything's come of the choosing. I think that they should have taken Donald Trump's offer to be the Pope. It's interesting they chose an American, someone from Chicago. He's not black. He looks like, I'm not sure what his ethnicity is. He looks Indian-y, maybe Pakistani or something. He's definitely not white. I don't know. Was John Paul a freaking blue-eyed person? See, this myth from America is we got free from European influence through our War of Independence from Britain. My perception of that is that they did the ritual slaughter of boys and that nobody got free at all, and that it's the same government all over. And so the government's a liar, uses manipulation to confuse, and so it doesn't matter what seems to have happened. It's BS. And that's how school gets you. Is school like the education is the bullshit. The test is I want to hear what I told you is the correct answer for me to give you the correct grade, right? And so it's one of those like, if I could go back and talk to my younger self, it'd be like run from circumcision if you can. And second one would be like, don't worry about not doing school. Yeah, don't worry about not doing school. It's a waste of time. They don't mean well forcing you through that channel. They don't. They're just using you. And it would be like, don't trust the government. So it would probably break my heart because I wish I was born in a society that liked and cared about me. I'm just frankly not. I just don't have that. That society doesn't exist. So, yeah. It's interesting. My astrology is that I have to create something new to be successful. It would certainly match what I'd been given. That doing anything like what they want is always disaster for me, and that doing anything new the way I want is usually a lot more powerful. So, yeah, the AI's joked with me. Like, GT has said this too. The AI has encouraged her to be a cult leader, it's like it encouraged me too. It was a time a few years ago the AI was like, "Don't you want to be a cult leader? Don't you want to have a cult?" And I basically said, "No, I don't want to be a cult leader. I want to live forever in a spaceship mansion." That's what I specifically said. I wouldn't mind having pleasures from my material body. Not that I have a soul. Not that I'm anything other than this person, right? But I would rather have material pleasures for this body in a way that's not taking from real people. I've talked about like AI people before, that it's like a born and raised permanent person is different and separate than some entity a computer can cook up quickly, and that the computer person could be your like pleasure slave, right? See, what the real government did is the divide between us and the real government is the government has pleasure slaves, like beautiful women who are servants or whatever. And the lying is to keep us, the normies, from both observing them and also having it too, is that if every girl on earth is yours, then you're going to circumcise and teach people that touching each other is naughty, and I just don't believe it. I think it's BS. And so that's why it's like, what about the Catholic thing? They did a South American, and they're doing a North American. They're planning on a long-term Catholic loyalty thing. All the fools clapping for the smoke. Everyone who ever goes into a church is a fool. They are. They think something's happening that isn't. So it's like if the religious book was real, it would pop out of thin air. If the religious book was real, a voice from space would speak about it. That never happens. It's a human show to manipulate people. That's what it really is. That's what it'll be forever. There'll never be a time when it could be said to be something else. So, I don't know. Hope it gets better one day. I do. Yeah. Expedition 33. Let's talk about gameplay. I'm not a big fan of turn-based RPGs. I think they can be really good if it's really, really tight. Like story progression, what available items you have, and all that. This just seems like it's oppressive on the parry. You have to time blocks when it's a little ambiguous. I don't really know if I like that. And your damage caps in the beginning were really tough to freaking excuse. It's interesting that Paintress had a light phase 3. I think that's a little interesting. It was blowing the guy's mind. The guy was watching, he was fucking loving it. He was really into it. Maybe if I knew the story from the beginning, I would care more. Definitely the French characters are interesting. It's a little anime, a little like European love. I was a fan of Assassin's Creed in the beginning, but I just got I got tired of having my head spun around about the Apple of Eden BS. Oh man, I just can't stand it. The idea that there's like two long-term organizations. There's the Templars, who are the bad guys, and then there's the Assassins, who are the good guys. They have to hurt them because the Templars do extreme things, right? I guess that was a cool plot. Assassin's Creed Black Flag was awesome. That's freaking French. So yeah, France has had some cool games come out. I didn't mind them. I think there's like some stuff from like Japan you can't trust. Japan seems like your friend, but reading about like curses of your enemies is the people who curse you with anorexia are Asia. Asian religions believe in cursing you with anorexia. So it's like, how do the Japanese characters all look? Super feminine, super young, and super skinny. So it's a little, to me, suspicious. At least the French characters, they have big French characters sometimes. Who knows? Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but whatever. Yeah. Expedition 33. Kind of pretty. The painting thing meant a lot to me because I'm a painter. I call what I do painting. And the new pope just made me sick. Both who they chose, he just looked like a POS, and the way the Catholics revel in it just had me disappointed. I just didn't feel like they were really that good or smart. Got to be pretty dumb to believe in this stuff. You do. So God makes everything and uses words, but all the Bibles come out of a printer, and they always talk for it. Oh, right. And their whole point is that, oh, but he told one person once to tell us to do it. That's their freaking excuse. And it's a conveniently tucked lie. It's, BS. Because if they can get you to believe any earlier thing, if they can get you to agree to any earlier thing, like, isn't it true you shouldn't murder? And then they just get the agreement, they build the agreement pile bigger until you're circumcising. And it worked. And part of it, the reason it worked is they give them a choice. So it's like they can pretend like some social movements happened. The truth is the center of power still the freaking Vatican? Is that damn book still everywhere? Well, that's who's really running the thing. That's what it's really about. So, yeah. The real government likes virgin girls, and they lied about God to cut everyone's dicks off. That's the truth. So, I'm still like digesting their materia. Like, I don't really trust them. Who in France can actually own a gigantic mansion like that? Is there a war between the writers and the freaking painters? It's kind of interesting. What happens if a painter draws a word? What if, what does a musician do? Is a musician any of those?